Tokyo Marui, the myth, the legend, the one that's shown around the world as to be the company that started it all. But what exactly have they done over the years? And what exactly has their legacy brought behind them? We'll find out today in Airsoft Classics. And today, there will be some looking into an original Tokyo Marui Thompson submachine gun. As you can tell, dated, old, but still ever as gorgeous. Even though I do not believe this is a newer product by much standards these days, it's still absolutely gorgeous, even with the fake wood, and especially with the metal body. Cannot say that the metal is the greatest material compared to what we see these days by VFC and GMP, especially considering we've seen a lot of stuff through LCT as well that have had a very good standard body designs and a fantastic quality control to boot. But this is still a fantastic little rifle for your standards of usage. And yes, I said rifle, even though it's a submachine gun. But basically everything in Airsoft, especially if it shoots a decent range and accuracy, is technically still a rifle these days. So, we have the gun itself, and we have a magazine, which I believe is a 90 round mid cap, which, hey, if it works, right? I mean, Tokyo Marui's mags are usually decent, so they're never really that but much of a slouch. Haven't done much testing with this bad boy, sadly, but I will hopefully get this little thing running. A little bit more functional, you know? Use it a little bit at some point, but it's had its day. But hey, it works, and it does just fine for what it needs to do. Although, sadly, I need to get the barrel fixed because the poor barrel has had some damage underneath. And sadly, underneath the grip there, the little metal there that holds the end that keeps the barrel on place, it's cracked. It was damaged in shipping, but hey, it still works just fine. It still looks just good. It even has the original manual and obviously the original box. The original targets that came with it, including a lot of other instructions necessary, all in Japanese. So, even after all these years, does Marui still got the potential? And does the old Marui dust still work sometime, even especially for an old 2006 Tokyo Marui Thompson like this? And yes, it is that old. Let's give it a test real quick. I've got a battery plugged into it right now. It has an original large type to me adapter on there that has basically been adapted down to Dean's to handle and I know this is going to probably make some of you hurt, a standard little 11-1 stick type battery in there because that was what works, you know, and it fits decently well. Although it does have some slight issues on full auto. But I don't think it's good. I think it's because the battery is way too strong. So, there you go. And full auto. Got a little bit of extra, you know, wind up. But she works just fine. And she looks just as good. So, honestly, for being as old as it is, that Tokyo Marui magic still holds its credible graces, especially with the stock gearbox. Absolutely gorgeous. Not even a crack on the gearbox head. Hop-up still works just fine. And here's a side-by-side. The Tokyo Marui compared to a SEMA, which has had some work done to it, but the difference is the sight's missing. The wood does not look as good. The metal, metal looks reasonably decent for what you get. But the Tokyo Marui's got a little bit of that extra charm to it. It's got a different looking finish on the metal, even if it's a little dated, but it's not as... The finish of it is a little bit different on there because it's a little bit more of a gunmetal styling versus a cleaner finish on the Cyma. But nonetheless, they're both good performing guns, and they look fantastic even if you decide to get the newer models. And this is a reproduction Thompson sling. This is not a Tokyo Marui product. This is actually a real steel model sling based off of the original Thompson's design. And it looks gorgeous on it. It came with the gun, and can't say nothing more about it, other than the fact that, obviously it's a Thompson, antiquated design, a little outdated, yeah, at least from modern perspective versus having, M16s, M4s, and other such rifles, and other such submachine guns, including the MP5s, MP7s, MP9s, and the Uzi. So the magazine's a little bit harder to take out, especially because it's a little stiff. And that works for both of them. If this wants to come out. Simple, but got to make sure you have at least two hands or a good grip on it. But overall, absolutely gorgeous. And it's worth every penny I spent on this little baby just to make sure I can have it in my ownership. I will admit, I don't think I'm going to be touching this gearbox. This one I've worked on, and I've had buddies look at this too. I will not try and touch this one unless I get another one that might be something as a bit of a change-up loaner, but until I can find another one, the V6 gearbox in this will not be touched whatsoever. So I ain't planning on doing anything. So if you'd like to know any more, leave a comment down below, subscribe, like, hey, do whatever you find of interest. And then, hey, keep playing, keep collecting, keep teching, and just enjoy the sport.